Let's take a look to the new year now with regard to industries with John Blank, our Chief Equity Strategist here at Zacks.com. Thought it would be nice to maybe apply the industry rank that we have, that forward-looking indicator, to some of the industries that you might be zeroing in on for the new year. So out of the ones that you've looked at, what do you see as outperforming?
Outperforming, I think, Terry, there's two camps that an investor has to decide which one he's in. If you're in for growth and current expansion of revenues driving your top lines, consumption's the place to be.
Okay. Why?
Consumer discretionary, consumer staples, things like that are clearly leading us through the holiday season and are clearly having support and confidence numbers and staying away from all these event-driven things that have kept people out of the markets.
Okay, that's a good point. Any other positives that you see out there? Any other standouts?
Housing and anything related to housing is on a tear and will most likely continue at least for 7 or 8 more months. So those things are relatively ripe and growth-oriented industries or sectors, and that's where I think the growth pickers looking for fundamental support should stay.
What about retail? Retail seems to be having a good time ahead of the holiday season here.
Absolutely.
Going into the end of the year. Is that going to continue?
Absolutely, Terry. That is a great example of what type of mature, customer-facing industry is going to see an expansion and provide the support. The malls have been filled. People are buying online. We know that there's auto sales are up 15% annually. All these speaks to some ebullience within the consumer segments, and that is something that keeps the earning estimate revisions that we like to look at moving up.
So the consumer is going to be a positive driver here going into the new year.
Absolutely.
All right. On the flip side, because we always have to look on the flip side, any negatives, any laggards?
Well, Terry, this gets into value. And what's really fascinating for me as an equity strategist, when I see a survey of chief investment officers that I just did a week ago, their outperforms are in IT, which has been an outperform for 2 or 3 years. It's in the tank from a sector perspective on the Zacks rank. It's actually the lowest Zacks rank sector.
Wow.
But that speaks to value, right? Outperform for years, underperform right now. Is it time to look at IT and pick a position up? The same is true for industrials and for materials. So you add up IT and industrials and materials, and what you get behind that is international exposure, right? So everybody has been and will remain to some degree concerned about Europe, but there's Asia, and China is building itself back up, has a new regime in place, and the rest of Asia and the rest of Latin America is quite strong, and ourselves, we might get a 3% growth rate. So what that tells us is that all of that interaction might put more emphasis on something right now that is cheap. IT, materials, and industrials.
All right. What about those industries or sectors that may just be too close to call at this point?
Healthcare. Healthcare is clearly too close to call. You have a push-me-pull-you going on in healthcare where you might get hospitals getting more out of the Obama plan, but you might get insurers getting less from the Obama plan. And I think healthcare, also with the fiscal cliff negotiations, changing the dialogue on Medicare and Medicaid, this area, I think, is a neutral. And there's just a lot of policy and thinking that can go on here. It's a solid defensive. I think there's still cash flow. I think it's still a good place to look. Within the Zacks rank, people like the pharmas and the dividend payers.
Right.
And that's clearly going to keep support for that sector. However, hospitals and insurers are doing a battle. And that is in the mix in that sector. So with all sectors, you have cross currents, and that's a good example where cross currents are adding up to a neutral.
Okay, thanks a lot. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of guidance as far as industries that you may want to look into with your research going into year's end and beyond. With John Blank, our Chief Equity Strategist, I'm Terry Ruffalo.